So what we will do today is we will start with ITIL. Okay. Um, ITIL, it stands for IT infrastructure information library. Information library. Okay. The name is a bit strange, but what actually ITIL is? ITIL is a framework. It's a theoretical framework of explaining the different components of IT, different components, or you can say different functions of IT. Okay, for example, it has got uh, five main parts. Okay, the first function is service. I think it is service strategy. Service strategy. Second one is service design. Third one is service transition. Fourth one is service operations. Fifth and the last one is continual service improvement, CSI, continual service improvement. Okay, so as you can see here in this diagram, it has got service strategy.
Yep.
Then it has got service design, then service transition and service operation, and then the last one is the continual service improvement. So to highly describe the service strategy, these are the people who are very senior people like CTOs, CEOs, directors, those kind of people, vice presidents. So what they do is that they advise and suggest about the strategy of the company. Okay.
Right.
Okay. For example, if you take insurance company as an example, and today an insurance company is providing insurances about cars. Okay, like for example, Admiral. Now, what they think about is that in the next 5 to 10 years, where their company has to be. Okay, and they think that okay, it is useful and it will be good for the business to have to offer gadget insurance as well. Okay, so those
Yeah.
kind of decisions that okay, what are the new products to come in, or how we are doing in the market with the competitors. So those are the people who falls in service strategy. Okay, so they define the strategy where we
Right.
need to go. Okay, so very senior people who are also responsible for money as well to distribute the money. So those are the service strategy people.
Right.
Okay, then what happens is that whatever they decide, it has to be, obviously it has to be delivered. Those product has to be created, and or those products need to be designed.
Right.
Yeah, so for example, um, Admiral as an insurance company, they cannot just say that one fine day that okay, now today we are offering the mobile insurance. Okay, because they need to have a website, they need to have people, they need to
Working
have
on it.
contracts, they need to have so many different things. Okay, before they can offer the service.
Mm.
Those services need, those projects or those to enable the strategy idea, they need to design it. Okay, then on the service design level, there are different people. They work for the service strategy people, but they are like architects. Okay, they will design the product, they will design the product and different aspects of the product, that how this will be manufactured, or if it is not something tangible, then how it will be like designed or delivered. Okay, for example, it's not only offering, like if you go on Admiral website and you say oh mobile insurance, behind that it is a lot of work, a lot of other streams that need to be designed.
Mm.
So service design people are the second most senior people who design the service. Okay, then comes that okay, once they have designed, and then it has to be manufactured or it has to be developed. That development is done in transition cycle. In transition is a where the idea is transition from a design to actually a product or a service. That happens or in service transition.
Right.
That is actual, like, kind of, you can say,
Implementing.
manufacturing or implementing it idea. Okay. Then it comes to service operation. Service operation is when the product or a service in is ready for use for the customers, for every day. Okay. So those service operation people will actually support it to enable it for the customers. Okay, that is
Right.
operations. They are not concerned about strategy. They are not concerned about how it was designed or how it was made. They are concerned about how to make it enable to the customers, like the customer service people or the people who actually work day in and out service
Right.
operations. Okay, those are service operation people. Then the continual service improvement, as you can see in the diagram, that it is encircling all the processes. So continual service improvement is kind of is a process which uh, continuously finds out the improvements in the whole portfolio. Okay. So okay, this can be improved, this is something that it can be an issue we can avoid, etc. So that is a kind of a continuous.
Just like an iOS versions,
Hmm. Mhm.
when they say, "Oh, this version is to improve bugs and
Bugs and pace, yeah,
security,"
yeah,
and
okay, so they release it, but at the back of that, when you are in iOS 13.6, okay, you report bugs. We Not all the people report bugs, but some people do.
mm,
and and in the meanwhile, their service operation people who are using it and enabling this, they tell them in the design people that okay, this is a bug or this can be improved. All those inputs, they go into CSI, continual service
right,
improvement, and then when they have to release the next version, they not only provide the new features on the basis of the design, but they also say that okay, let's fix the other bugs as well, or make it more secure or improve
right,
it. Okay, so that's why continual service improvement is something continuously happening. Now, for example, if in a layman or everyday world, if we imagine a takeaway, okay, in a takeaway, uh, the menu is defined by service strategy or people or a owner of the restaurant. Or if it is a franchise, then they will not allow every restaurant to have their own menu, but they will say that okay, we are a franchise, we will put the strategy that okay, what would be the menu,
mm,
or what is like, maybe service strategy will say that today we have 10 stores in London and next 5 years we need to have 50 stores. Okay. And to enable that, then they will say that okay, how much funds we need, and how much resources we need to do the marketing and to do the contracts, the legal side, etc. So everything. Then the service design people, they will come in and they will say that okay, how we can actually enable from step 1 to 10 to achieve their strategy. Okay, so they will go back to service strategy people, having a presentation and documents that okay, this is actually how it's going to happen.
mm,
Okay. Okay, this was your strategy, but this is how actually we can do it. We will need this much money in this phase, this much money in this phase, and so, for example. And then once that design is finalized between service strategy and design people, then it will be just a matter of making it or making it enable. Because strategy is defined, funds are
right,
allocated, design is agreed back and forth. Maybe they will take more time, say no, we are not satisfied with the design, let's do it in a different way, etc. But once the design is cemented, then it is a matter of delivery, making it happen. Okay.
right,
Once those 50 stores, maybe they will say that okay, in the first year we will only be able to do it 10 stores. Okay. So they will make it happen in that service transition. Okay, based on the service design. So each process is it take cares of the inputs from the. So service design
right,
will take inputs from service strategy. They cannot design something that is not in strategy.
mm,
Okay. See, and then service transition where actually the delivery is happening, they are making the product or enabling something. They cannot just make something which is not in design. Okay, so everything is streamlined. And
right,
then service operation, these people will use, these people will run those new stores. Those will be delivered by service transition into them, into service operation. So overall, if you see, everything is streamlined. What was the strategy of the company is in is defined in design.
yep,
Yeah, design is based on the strategy. and based on the design, then they will deliver or make that product or make those changes, and then they will put it into the use, which is service operation.
Right.
Service operation is day-to-day use of anything. Okay, so that's how everything stays
Okay.
in connected, and then obviously continual service improvement is overall improvement of the product, etc. Okay, so does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so ITIL is actually, it distributes, or say it is a framework that says that overall IT processes have to be in these 5 steps. Okay, these
Right.
steps will be different from company to company. For some companies, service strategy people, there are big boards. Multinationals, they have got like maybe hundreds of people in strategy board. Okay, they have got like so many CTOs and CFOs and people. If it is a small company, maybe you are the only one who is director. Yeah, if you are running a takeaway, then you are service strategy, one person. Okay, then similarly, this, companies will have their service design people, service transition teams, and etc. But most most importantly, it is understand is that, okay, what are these 5 components?
Right.
Service strategy, service design, service transition, service
Service
operation, and
operation.
continuous service improvement. Okay, that is one thing. Now in this book you will see that there are these 5 chapters are there.
Okay.
There is chapter for service strategy, chapter for service design, service transition, service operation, and continuous service improvement. Okay, but what we will do is that first of all we will cover service operations.
Okay.
Okay, because that is more related to day-to-day activities and day-to-day operations, and there is a lot of theory to understand and clear the concept about. When you will enter into a job, you will be most probably working in service operation. Okay,
Okay.
then we will cover service transition, and then design, and then strategy.
Okay.
Okay, in a reverse cycle.
Okay.
Okay, because to be honest, there is not much to digest on service design and strategy level, because that is not very related um, to many people's job. Mostly people work in service operation or service transition, and these are more niche or more high level
Right.
functions, but obviously you have to have an understanding of these. So we will come back to those chapters later on.
Right.
Today we will concentrate on service operations first. Okay, and then after like maybe 3 to 4 weeks time, when we will cover all these 5 chapters, now then this diagram will make a lot of sense
More
to you.
sense.
Okay, so you will be able to explain anyone in a layman logic. So now you don't need to understand that, okay, what is ITIL by definition.
Mm.
Okay, so you just say it is a framework that defines 5 main functions of any IT organization. Those are strategy, where there are VPs, directors, those people, then design people, transition, and
Operation.
operations, and then overall there is a continuum. That's it. That's, if you explain that in an interview in these sentences, these words, that's perfectly fine. You
Right.
don't need to go into and say maybe they have got a definition. Obviously they will, obviously
Mm.
introduction, they will have it here somewhere, but I don't want you to learn it. There's no point. ITIL library and those things. Okay, you can see, you can come back and go back and read the book, but once we have covered all these 5 chapters,
Right.
there's no need to be confused at the moment. So
Right.
straight away today, what we will do is that we will cover incident, in service operations. We have how many? We have 6 or 7 components within service operation. Okay, today we will cover incident and request management.
Right.
Fine. अच्छा, ये होना हो गया pause हो?
Mm.
नहीं होने को समझ आती है पई,
हाँ
मतलब
हाँ
it's layman यार.
at
हर
the
चीज,
moment is
everything is related to
Hmm.
your daily life. It is so easy,
ठीक हो गया.
nothing big.
मतलब वो design is service design is something के idea है basically.
Idea ਨੂੰ ਨਾ paper ਤੇ ਲੈ.
पेपर तक लाया है.
हाँ, like Imran Khan says, I want tax today. Tax collection is 2,000 billion.
Hmm.
I want it to be 4,500 billion. बस वो तो आके चुप कर वैसी.
हाँ ਹੁਣ
ਉਹ
ਅਗਲੀ
ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ, ਲਾ ਹੁਣ ਸੰਭਾਲੋ ਭਾਈ, ਇਹ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਬਸ ਆਪ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, because that is their job. अगर वो आदमी नहीं करना, फिर he will replace it with someone else. Fuck off. This is my strategy. You
you
know,
have to do it.
you have to do it. Obviously, discussion ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਯਾਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇੰਜ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ,
ਹਾਂ
3,000 ਤੇ ਲੈ ਆਈਏ ਫਿਰ ਕਰੀਏ, ਲੇਕਿਨ you don't dictate strategy people they know their shit.
mm.
ठीक है फिर डिजाइन आ जांदा तुसां जेह्ड़ा उस आखेआ ओह् तुसां डिजाइन करना ओह् जेल्लै इक डिजाइन हो गया ओह् एग्री होंदा फिर तुसां
ऑपरेशन ही पार्ट
ऑपरेशन पाई लैना हुन आर्कीटेक्ट इत्थै होंदे न हुन मैं इत्थां
अच्छा
ठीक है मैं इत्थै शुरू कीता है फिर मैं इत्थै आया फिर मैं
ओके अच्छा
ठीक है
अच्छा
that's why I can tell all these people off.
ओके
Okay, only I am worried about these people. Like these people are worried about me, I am worried about these people.
ओके
ठीक है but these people I don't fucking give.
अच्छा okay I thought like these people are the big ones.
No, this is
Oh,
the
this is the big
biggest.
one. Okay,
These
the
are
one who
CTOs,
takes
CEOs who tells us that fucking do it.
do it. Okay.
Yeah. Then we put a design as an architect, and we tell them that okay, sir, this is the design. A phase is A, उसी का तुझे agree करेंगे. Okay, so नहीं A phase इतना ले आओ, ये इतना ले आओ. नहीं, ये 5 phase नहीं है, इतना करो. यहाँ के उन्होंने और पैसे कसाओ. तुझे करो. ठीक है. चलो वो सीमेंट हो गया. फिर असन डिलीवर करना. फिर डिजाइन बन सी तो डिजाइन है ना फॉलो करना डिजाइन. है ना यूज करना.
Yeah.
ठीक है तो ये तो इंजन लोडने जी होंगे ने
सही है
ठीक है दैट्स व्हाई सो ਅਸੀਂ
ठीक
ਅਜੇ ਪੜਸਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ
ठीक
ਲੈਂਦੇ
हो गया
ਪੜਸਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਓਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਇਸ ਤੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਕੰਪੋਨੈਂਟਸ okay when we come in service operations we will first read the goal of service operation. What is the goal of service operation? So as I briefly explained earlier, that service operation itself is a day-to-day activity of any business, of any, even in your household. You cook food, and and you do cleaning. Those are service operation. Okay, those are service operation activities. Similarly, in IT, for example, if we speak particular to in IT, mobile phone operators, that is like when you call them you have an issue, you call them, you call the help desk or helpline customer service. The people who pick up your call, they are doing service operation. Okay, so they are part of service operation. Similarly, when they log your issue and they give it to some other team, those team who are working on those issues are also service operation people. Okay,
right
so the goal of service operation is um, to keep up the service, okay, most efficiently. If you are providing mobile service, it should be um, without any interruptions, or if someone had an issue, you have to quickly resolve it so that they can use the service for what they are paying for. See, so your job is to, if someone is having issue, to get it resolved. If someone is requesting something new, a new feature, you have to enable it for him so that they can use the service efficiently.
right
If something is broken, if a pipe is broken, or if something is down, not working, then someone will report to them and they will fix it. This will be service
service
operation.
operation
Yeah. So if we read that what it is, by this their definition, it says the goal of service operation is to deliver and support services in an efficient and effective manner, to maintain the stability in the service while at the same time allowing change for improvements. Okay, so you need to get things going.
yeah
Say in simple words. Now, in terms of service operation, there are different um, processes in service operation: event management, incident management, problem management, request management, and access management. Today, we will cover incident management and request management. Okay, or maybe
okay
probably the problem management as well. So incident management, what is incident management? Incident is something, an incident happened, you are on the road, someone hit you, or you fell yourself, that is an
yep
incident. Okay, so anything that is unusual happen is an incident. Okay, um, more precisely, if something has stopped working or is completely broken, is an incident. If it is not completely broken, but the overall its output is degraded, or a component of it is not working, it's an incident.
right
So a fault is an incident. If something is broken, is an incident. Or if something is degraded in terms of availability, or it cannot be used fully, is an incident with that particular thing. Okay, so that is the main definition of incident.
Right.
Yeah. As compared to request is something, as its name suggests, you request something. There's nothing broken, but you need something. Yeah. So for example, if I say I need a cup of water, glass of water, that is a request. Okay, that is nothing broken. But
Yeah.
if the glass is broken itself, that is an incident,
Mm.
that something happened. Okay, so the main difference between an incident and a request is that incident, when you think about an incident, it is something has stopped working, or it is degraded, or um, or there is a fault. Okay, request is something that is available and you want to
Upgraded or
upgrade it, or you want to have something, that is
different.
a request. So that is the main difference between request management and incident management. So what happens is, for example, you have an issue like, you you are able to receive calls but you cannot make calls for some reason. You call customer service desk and tell them that, okay, you have an issue with your phone. You're not able to make calls, although you are able to receive the calls.
Mm.
Okay, so that is an incident for you. What they will do is that they will log it for you, log an issue. So when it comes to incident, there are different stages. There is one stage is called logging. Okay, someone logs that incident.
Mm.
Okay, you report it and they log it. When you call customer service desk, they ask you, logging the incident, they ask you your name, your more particulars, date of birth or something, phone number, so that they can bring your record up. And what they are doing on their system is that they are logging incident for you. Okay, then they do categorization, like what is the issue,
Mm.
what kind of issue. If it is an issue with the software, if it is an issue with the hardware, if it is an issue with something, your billing, etc. Okay, that is called categorization. So first they identify you, logging, they do identification, then they categorize it on their system. Okay, you don't know, as an end user, you don't need to know that how they categorize it. They
Mm.
categorize it in their system. Once they categorize it, then they prioritize it, that, okay, what is the priority of the issue. If it is an issue with you only, it is a low, it is only one user getting affected. Okay, so it is not like a very high priority issue. But if, for example, all the people in SM5 or any particular postcode or in a city or a portion of a city are not able to make the calls, then it is a bigger issue. Okay, more people are affected, so they will say that, okay, it has a greater priority. Okay, so they log it, they categorize it, then they prioritize it.
Who to give it to?
No, priority is that if it is urgent, it is high,
Okay.
medium, or low. Okay, then they will do an assignment, that which team to give to, and who will be responsible to fix it. If they can fix it themselves, then they will fix it. If they are fixing it then and there for you, if they say that, okay, can you please, sir, do a restart now and it will be fixed, that is called first time fix. So it is fixed on the first call or first attempt.
Mm.
If they cannot fix it, then it is not a first time fix, then they have to assign it to some other team. Okay, so that is called assignment. Okay, once it is assigned, then the team who is receiving the incident in their name, they will put it in work in progress. They will say that, okay, what is the issue, they will diagnose it, they will find out, they will resolve it, and then the issue will be resolved. It can take time. Okay, so basically, when you pick up the phone and speak to the customer service desk, what they do is they identify you
Mm.
and they log that issue. Okay, then in the meanwhile, they do the categorization. They think, okay, what is the issue with the device or hardware, software, billing, etc. And they, if they can resolve it then and there as a first time fix, then they do. If not, then they will assign it to someone else. And then once it is assigned, it takes its own life cycle. We will go into the incident life cycle later on, that, okay, what are the steps in the incident life cycle. But most important to understand is that, okay, what is an incident? If something is broken, as an incident.
That's instant.
If someone asks you in an interview that, oh, can you define what is an incident? You don't need to tell them an definition in quotation marks. You can say, sir, anything which is broken or degraded is an incident. Okay. And they will say, for example, you say, for example, if my phone is not working at all, or a kind or a component of a phone is not working, then it is an incident. Similarly, if my car's tire is punctured, that is an incident for me. So if your car is broken, you call AA. What they do is that they log it,
Mm.
they categorize it, they ask you different questions, and then they assign it to a nearest person. Okay, but when a call goes to the nearest AA recovery driver, it already has all the information they have filled in during logging and categorization. He will already know that there is a busted tire, or is it a battery not working, or like, whatever the issue is. And then there will be priority if there are kids, or like, if it is something that you are on a roadside, then they will prioritize it high. Okay,
Mm.
if you are like not able to start the car from home, your own home, and it is parked on your driveway, your
Yes.
priority will be low. Okay, so that those are the different aspects of incident management.
Right.
So in what happens is, in the incident management, let's go in the incident management how they are solving it. Okay, now if we say, hmm, okay, जैसे एक चीज़ें पढ़नी है कि priority क्यों दी है,
Mm.
SLA's priority और क्या, हाँ बस ठीक है. Okay, so two very important aspects of incident management and very common are, number one is priority, number two are SLAs. So priority is, as I briefly described, is that it can be critical, high, medium, or low. Okay, critical is something which is like, as its name suggests, that is like highest priority, the most urgent. Or you can also critical, high, medium, low. Okay, these are also called P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay, so some people say it is a critical priority, some say it's P1.
Mm.
Okay, so this means that it is a highest priority incident. There are different aspects that an incident is can be classified as a P1 or a critical incident. For example, the first thing is that if a service is completely stopped or is not working at all, then it is a P1 issue.
Mm.
For example, if the email server is down, no one is able to send or receive any emails, that is a P1 issue. Okay. If the email server is down, like is a degraded, it's not completely down. Like people are able to receive the emails, but with the delay of 10 minutes. So it's not a P1, but it's a P2 issue. It is a hype issue. It's a P2 issue. Or if, like, for example, if there are like one person is not able to log into their system using their Windows password in the morning at 9 a.m. Okay,
Mm.
then it's an incident, but it is maybe a P3 incident, medium incident. Okay, but what if the whole company is not able to log in at 9 o'clock? Still, it's an incident, but it's a P1 incident because more people are
Yes.
affected. So when you report an incident, the help desk and those people, the customer service people, they prioritize it. They say that, okay, sir, ma'am, are you the only one who is having this issue, or the other people, other team members are also having this issue? You say no, it's only yourself, then they will say okay, it's P3. Okay.
Mm.
If you say no, the whole department is having the same issue, and in the meanwhile other people are also calling, they will classify it as a P2 or P1 issue. Okay, so the priority of an incident is defined on different aspects, whether it is a complete service is down or whether service is not down, but it is more people are affected. So it is they make the decision. So that is called priority. Now the priority defines that how long a certain company or an operation team have to fix the issue. If there is a P1 incident, then mostly the resolution time is 1 hour. That if the
Okay.
P1 happens, you are bound to resolve it in 1 hour. If you cannot resolve it in 1 hour, then there will be financial or other kind of penalties between customers and the company
Company.
who is
Yeah.
providing the service. Okay. If it is a P2 incident, then maybe they have 4 hours or 8 hours to resolve the issue. If it is P3 incident, maybe they have 4 days to resolve the issue. So companies have the very tightly written and agreed contracts between them and their customers that okay, we will provide you this service, and if something happens of P1 level, we are bound to resolve it in this much time. If something has happened on P2 level, we are bound to having 4 hours or 8 hours, so on and so on. So that if there is an issue of a P3, you cannot be on their back saying that oh, resolve it in 15 days, 15 minutes
15 minutes.
or
Yeah.
1 hour. They will say, sir, this is a P3 issue and we have by contract have 3 days to, like you call a bank and you ask them for a bank statement or a new card. They say okay, it will arrive in 5 to 10 days, maybe sooner, but we can't promise. If it does
Yes.
not happen in 5 to 10 days, then you can let us know and we can do something. So those are the kind of SLAs. Those are agreement between you as a customer and the company who is providing you the service. Okay, they are supplier, you are consumer. Okay, so that are level agreements, and those agreements are called service level agreements. That okay, what are the service level agreements for a P1 issue, for a P2 issue, for a P3 issue? Okay, for example, the Sky, when someone has a Sky broadband, Sky does not have the infrastructure, the lines. They use BT lines.
Mm.
Okay, often they ask you, oh, do you have a BT socket in there, sir,
Yeah.
already? If not, then first the BT socket will be installed in your house and then they will enable their broadband. Now you are the end user and you are having a contract with Sky, but Sky is dependent on BT. So you have a contract with Sky, there is an agreement between you and Sky.
Yeah.
Then Sky has an agreement between you, them and BT. Your agreement and your SLAs with Sky as a user will be different, and the agreements, the service level agreements between Sky and BT will be different. Okay, so that's how it works. If,
Right.
for example, something is down, your your Sky broadband is not working. If it is due to the router, then Sky will replace and they will be responsible. But if it is something to do with the lines, those lines are with BT lines.
Mm.
So they will not tell you to that you have to contact BT. It is them and BT to sort themselves. And how they sort between themselves is based on SLAs. You will log an incident with Sky that okay, your broadband is not working. If it is only you, maybe they will say that okay, it's a P3 issue, this will result in 4 to 5 days. Okay, if it is the whole postcode or the whole county, then obviously it will be a P1 issue. That will be between you and Sky, but Sky will then log an incident with BT.
Mm.
Okay, with BT they may have a different kind of SLA that okay, you have to restore it in 4 hours. Maybe for you they will tell you 5 days,
5 days.
but
Yeah.
between them and BT it will be different. So these are the service level agreements between different entities within one service. Okay, so that's, and for SLAs are dependent on priority. If it is a P1, the SLA will be 4 hours. For P2, maybe it is 8 hours.
6
For
hours. Yeah.
P3, it may be 3 days.
Mm.
P4, it is maybe 1 week.
Right.
Yeah. So priorities derive SLAs. Now, if someone asks you that, okay, what is an SLA? You can tell them in a layman way, saying that okay, it is an agreement to uh, for the service. Okay, that if something happens, if an incident happens, how long it will take to resolve something. And SLAs are derived on the priorities, how critical the issue is, if it is low level, medium, high, or
Hmm.
P1. Okay, you cannot tell them that okay it is a P1 issue. Similarly, you walk in an A&E, what they do at first, nurse do the screening, he or she
Yeah.
prioritize your issue, that okay how critical are you. If you are critical, okay, if your heartbeat is not normal, she will prioritize you as a P1 and they will jump you ahead and someone will
Hmm.
take you. But if you have got dislocated arm or a finger, she will prioritize you as medium or lower.
Hmm.
Okay, and then you will be seen in 4 or 5 hours. No matter how much noise you make, that depends how she prioritizes you.
Hmm.
Okay,
Makes sense. Man.
yeah. So during the service operation, this prioritization is very important because a lot of things are derived from prioritization. How much time someone take to fix it and how serious they will take it.
Hmm.
I don't say serious, everything is serious, even is low level incident, but then it will take more time or it will have a different resolution path. Okay. If P1 is happening, this means that something is very serious. Okay. For example, once I used to work for an account, it was a betting company. Okay. I think it was Paddy Power or something. Now, our company was providing them a service. Okay. Their server, if their server is down for 15 minutes, just imagine how much revenue
Yeah.
they will lose. Millions,
Billions.
billions, yeah. So their P1 is like drop everything and fix it.
Their
15
P1 is
minutes, yeah.
basically
Their P1 is,
P1.
yeah, P1 is P1, okay. But if there is a customer who is complaining and calling that, oh, although I won the bet, but it is not getting settled because I need my £10,
Hmm.
that is a P4 incident. But if someone is calling and saying that, oh, I'm not able to log in at all, yeah, and 20 other people are calling, and then in 30 minutes 2,000 people calling them
Hmm.
reporting, and they find out their website is down and people are not able to log in, they are losing revenue. They will log it as a P1. They will log every issue, even if you call them that okay, you don't like it or like whatever, they will still log it. But the priority of the issue defines the resolution, how quickly something will be fixed. So that is why priority and SLAs. So now do you understand what is priority and how
Yes.
it is? Yeah. Logging, when you call it, they will log it, they will identify you, what is your name, where are you
Will
based, okay,
register your
etc.
issue.
Yeah, what is your issue is categorization. They will categorize it, okay, it is an issue with the app or it's an issue with the mobile itself or a software issue or whatever. Then while hearing your issue, they will also write more details. When you tell them more details, then they will be able to prioritize it, that okay, if it is a P1, P2, P3, P4, okay, and then they will assign it to a team. When it is one a team, a network team or a web application team, and they are receiving incidents of nature P4, P3, P2, P1, but P1 will be their top priority. If they have got 50 P4 issues and one P1 issue,
Hmm.
they will resolve P1 first, and then you know P4s will have
Gradually.
their own queue depending on their resources, etc. They will obviously, yeah. So that's how they. This is like now priority. How, as I told you that they say that okay, how much impact and urgency
Hmm.
is. It's not necessarily that if it is an issue with one person, it cannot be a P1 issue. Priority is defined by the combination of impact and urgency. If it is one person who is not able to log in and he or she is just, maybe a customer service advisor, that is a P4 issue. It's low impact and low urgency.
Hmm.
But if it is a VP or a CEO and not able to log in, it is low impact but high urgency, and it will be a P1 or maybe a P2.
Right.
Okay, so it really defines, like you cannot pinpoint that okay, this will be a P4. because it is one person. That one person can be a VIP person,
Mm.
you know. So
Yeah, that one
you do the
person could
judgment.
be Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson, yeah, if it's a PM, he is not able to look into his calendars.
Or you
It's,
can't even
you
tweet.
can't, and exactly, you know, he can't even tweet, or
Mm.
he cannot attend the meetings because he's not able to see what's in his calendar, who he has to call in the next 15 minutes.
Yes, that's
Then it is a
P1.
P1 issue. But if it is like myself or you, and we can't access our calendar, then that is a
Yeah.
different story. So that's why priority is very important, how you classify it. So priority is derived or defined by judging or guessing the impact and urgency. Yeah? If it is high impact, high urgency, it is
P1.
P1. So and so. Okay. And similarly, on the basis of priority, it will define the SLA, that how soon it need to be fixed.
Mm.
Okay. So that is overall, how incident is logged. Now, once incident is logged, it has got its own life cycle. That what are the different stages of the incident when it is solved. Let me see where it is. Another thing, life cycle of incident with yeah. So basically, I have oversimplified it in my last explanation. If we go down the route that what happens when an incident happens, obviously someone has to report it, or they need to know that okay, there is an incident. Either it is a manual, like someone calls them, or it can be an automated alarm system
Mm.
which can tell that okay, there is an incident. For example, if there is a fire in the house, either I can see and I report, call, or either if I'm not home or I don't know, then the fire alarm will tell us that it is an fire or a
Incident.
smoke.
Yeah.
So that is the identification, that how it is detected or reported. That comes under identification.
Right.
Registration is someone making them call or telling them that okay, it has happened, or they know automatically in their system that okay, there is a fire alarm in house number 1, street uh, 10. Okay,
Mm.
so they will know, so it's been identified. Then they will register it with the details that okay, who this house belongs to or who has called. If you have been on the phone, then they will ask your name, etc., so they will register you. Then in the meanwhile on the call, they will categorize that okay, what it is regarding is maybe it is a house on fire, or it's a plumbing leak, or
Mm.
it is lightning issue, etc. Okay, that is a categorization what happened. Then on the basis of that, they will prioritize it, how urgent it is. If it's a house on fire, it's P1 issue.
Mm.
If it is a plumbing leak and it's one tap, they will tell you that okay, can you please stop the incoming supply, the main pipe, so
Mm.
that your leak stops. And then in the meanwhile, we'll send you someone. That is a
Yeah.
P2 or P3 issue. Okay. If your light is broken, your bulb is fused, then it is a P3, P4
Four.
issue. They will say that, okay, sir, we will get back to you in 3 days or 4 days. Someone will be in touch with you.
Mm.
Then they will assign it to someone. If it is a fire issue, they will assign it to fire brigade. If it is a plumbing issue, they will assign it to plumber. Okay. Similarly, when you call, for example, for the mobile phone operator, you say that okay, there is an issue. They ask you all the details. They do the identification, logging, categorization, and prioritize it. And then on the basis of your issue, they will assign it to someone,
And then when they say, "Oh, we're gonna transfer you to the,"
to the department.
yes,
Whether it is, if it is an issue with your billing, they will transfer you to the billing department. If it is an issue with your
service.
making calls, they will assign it to the operation team or network team.
Mm.
If there is an issue with your upgrade, you're not receiving the upgrade you are expecting, then they will assign it to someone else. So that is called assignment.
Right.
Then when that team will receive the incident, they will know that okay, this is a P1, P2, P3 issue, we have this much time to
Resolve
respond or
it.
resolve it. So that's how is going to work. So, and then once they receive it, they will see that if they have got all the information they need to resolve it. If not, then if so, then okay, they will put it in work in progress. Okay, and they will start working on it. But if it is something that they need more information from you, that the customer service representative did not get from you, or they did not know those details,
Mm.
then they will say that, okay, sir, can we, they will email you, or they will request you, call you, that to send you the screenshots of the error, or what you are getting, or error logs, etc. And then they'll say that once we receive this information, we will work on it. Okay, so what will happen is that, for example, if they have got a P3 issue and they have got 3 days to resolve it, if they have got all the information, they will work on it. Okay, and they will resolve it. Maybe they can resolve it in 8 hours or one day, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But if they do not have information and they need more information from you, then they will request that information from you. Until you get them that information, they cannot work on the incident. So what if you don't get back to them in 3 days, and they have 3 days SLA to solve it? What will happen is they will pause the timer. They will say that, okay, we will receive this issue, but see, we cannot work on it unless we receive more information from the user. And they will send you an email or something, communication to you. Once they have sent it to you, they will pause the clock. So their 3 days
Okay.
time will be paused until you get back to them. If they have only consumed half an hour to ask you that information, then out of 3 days they have consumed 30 minutes, and now the clock is stopped. Their SLA timer is stopped. Their
Okay.
SLA is not going. So no one can blame them that, okay, they did not resolve it in 3 days. They
Yeah.
will say that, okay, so we have sent this user this information, asked for this information on this time, and the SLA is paused. Okay, we can't do much.
Right.
Yeah, once you receive get that information back to them, their clock resumes again. Now they have got, you know,
Whatever time left.
whatever time left, and they will do the resolution. So either they can resolve it straight away, or they need more time, then they will resolve it. Otherwise, if they need more information, they will ask you, and then the incident will be, they will put it in pending or on hold, with the reason that, okay, it's on hold due to the customer information asked from customer,
Yeah.
or they will resolve it. Once they resolve it, for example, then even then the SLA is paused, because it is possible that you go back to them that, no, you're still having the same issue. Then they will reopen the issue, same incident, and they will say that, okay, based on your latest feedback, why it is still happening. They will work on it. They still have 3 days or whatever time left from the time they have resolved the issue. Okay, but if, for example, if they cannot resolve it in those 3 days, then their SLA is breached. They will still resolve it, but it will be on the report that SLA is breached. They did not meet the SLA.
Mm.
Okay, what will happen is, in their monthly or 3 quarterly reviews and yearly reviews, um, Sky will ask BT that, okay, we have raised 100,000 issues with you in last year, and 30,000 of those have breached the SLAs.
Mm.
And due to this, we have breached our SLAs with the customers,
Customers.
and we have compensated them with these many, with money or discount on the bills or whatever. So now they will charge them.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not like, okay, it just took like 5 days and you just shy away, and, oh, okay, because it takes time. No. Yeah. Because then BT is responsible to put those lines fixed or put new lines in 5 days time. And then BT have those SLAs with their own, with
Summaries.
their own suppliers, who they buy the uh, these equipment, including the lines, or they have third parties who are installing for them.
Mm. Mm.
So that's why these ITIL framework, and this is very important, because this defines a framework that how things work together. We as a customer, we see that, okay, we are consuming broadband and using telephone and internet, but behind this it is a lot. And how each things work is defined in this ITIL framework. We are only like talking about service operation. When we will cover all these 5 chapters, you will know that, okay, well, this makes sense.
Mm.
Okay, so that's how it works. Like, you report an incident and you just get off the phone, but what happens at the background is
Mm.
logging, categorization, prioritization, assignments, and those things until it is resolved. Once they resolve it, they send you an email, sir, your incident is resolved, and you have 3 days or 5 days to get back to us if you still think and it's an issue, and we will reopen the issue. But if you go back to them after 6 days, they say, no, sir, you didn't get back to us in time. That particular issue is closed. Okay, we will log a new incident for you.
Now we need another 3 days.
Another 3 days, yes, because if you keep on reopening the same issue, their
Yeah.
SLA will be breached. And also, by the end of the year or end of the month, if there are like 100 customers for a company, and they keep reopening the same issue, then at the end of the month on the statistics, they will may only have 200 incidents. Okay, but actually they may have worked on like 1000 incidents.
Mm.
So that's why they say that if the same issue happens within 3 days, then let us know, we will reopen it. If not, then we have to open a new incident, so that they can show in their stats that they are working on more incidents rather than just
Wow.
same incidents. Yeah, that's why they log a new case for you if you go back to them after a certain period of time, because they have to show in those stats reports that they are working on more issues.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why these things are really important when it comes to the operations. That okay, you are logging the incidents where they need to be logged and not reopening the same incidents. Actually, when the incident is closed, you cannot reopen it on the system. System won't allow anyone, customer service representative, they can't, because it is grayed out, they can't do much. They have to log a new incident.
Same like when you're chatting to somebody online,
Yeah,
and I think after 10 or 15 minutes, it would say the chat history is closed,
yeah, exactly.
which
Yeah,
means
yeah,
you
you
have
have to
to
start
start
again.
again.
Yeah, you can tell them the reference number of the last chat, but
Mm.
start again. Because see, if someone is sitting in their office and you are chatting to them, you chat with them, and you forget you are watching a film, and every 15 minutes you will say, oh, hi, hello.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
that, yeah, exactly. And that poor person, if he is replying to the same chat, and in his 8 hours of shift, he is showing two chats or three chats.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he has served three customers.
Mm.
But if you are bound to, your chat session is, if it remains idle for 10 minutes, you have to new session.
Yes.
Then that person can go back saying that in his or her 8 hour shift, they have served like maybe 100 chats,
Mm.
because those are important to show the
Right.
progress and the reports and issues. So they will not say no to you, they will resolve your issue, but they will say that okay, but it has to be a new chat.
Mm.
For you it doesn't matter, but for them it matters.
Yeah, I always, I mean, kept thinking like he was here 10 minutes ago. Why did he go? Or where is he gone? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly, because he has to pick up new chat,
Mm.
or like maybe if he or
Running
she
out of
is
time.
nothing to do, but when you will contact them again, it will be a new customer, new statistics for them. They have worked on more issues, more chat, served
Mm.
more customers. Yeah, rather than
Okay. Yeah.
that's all. So yeah, that is why these little things, but in service operations today, we understood that what is incident, huh?
Yep.
And what are the different steps within an incident, from the point you pick up the phone and report it, and until it is resolved or closed. Different aspects like logging incident, identification, reporting,
Prioritize.
categorizing it, prioritizing it, assigning it, and then working on it. If you are not able to work on it actively and you need information from another person or customer, then you put the incident on hold or pending, so that your SLA clock will be stopped,
Mm.
and then you resolve it and close it. Yeah,
Right.
so that is the overall life cycle of an incident. Fine.
Yeah.
So I think for today, incident management is enough. Tomorrow or the next time, we will continue um, request management.
Sure.
So incident, request, and problem management are the three main components, and then we will wrap up the service operation.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. अच्छा हुणे होगी ना स्टॉप.
Huh.
ठीक है जी, हुणे से एंड कर सा ना मीटिंग.